What's up guys, it's ALLDAYANTHONY, and in today's video, we're getting high with QuickJacks. 24 inches to be exact. Let's go.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
I don't even know what to say. This is everything that I have wanted for years. Alright, so today is a momentous day here on the channel as I am saying goodbye to my jack stands and hello to my new Quickjack 5000TLX setup. I want to give a huge thank you to QuickJack and Bendpak for sending these out, not only for me to review, but to use on plenty of future content here on the channel. Now, to be honest, I think that these are going to be an absolute game changer for video content, specifically for you guys watching. For years and years, I have used jack stands to get the cars up in the air, and I always felt I never had enough room to film the stuff I wanted to film, or really to bring you guys along in for some of the installs. So these are going to make a massive difference, and we even got the sweet light stick set up to provide some more light while we're under the car working on certain things. So I am so excited and so grateful that they were able to send these things out, and I cannot wait to get them installed. Now, with that said, my approach to this video is going to be a little bit different than other QuickJack setup videos on YouTube. There's plenty of awesome videos out there that show you how to bleed the system, how to set everything up properly, and so on. My main goal is to briefly go over that, but mostly focus on the final result. How do these things actually work? How much height are we going to get out of this setup? How much working room do we have into the car? And does the TLX fit something as small as my Honda Civic here? So that's going to be the main goal of this video because that's what I've always been most interested in. So with that out of the way, we have plenty of boxes here that need to be unboxed. We're going to get everything laid out and begin the setup. Alright, so we have everything unboxed here. I have the light stick over on the wall charging, and we'll check that out later. But you may have noticed that during the unboxing, I did not pull out the short cables, nor did I pull out these long cables or these fittings. And that's because last night I was thinking about it, and I was like, shoot, if I'm doing this today, I need to install these fittings and put on the thread sealer there to give it enough time to cure. So I did that last night, got these fittings here on the short cables, and then got those fittings there on the long cables, so we should be good to go today. So briefly going over everything, we have the pump here, much smaller than I thought, which is nice. That'll be easier to store. We have the stars of the show, the Quickjack 5000TLX setup, which based on what I'm seeing here is going to be a damn near perfect fit for underneath the Civic, the RSX, and the Evo. So I'm really glad I went with the TLX model, and I'm really excited to see how this is all gonna work out. So we have that, we have the thread sealer for, I believe, we're done with everything thread sealer related, so that's okay. We have some more fittings that we need to attach to the pump, as well as the QuickJacks. We have the blocks, we have the hanger for the light stick, we have the hangers for the QuickJacks, and then we have these extensions over here, these extension blocks, which I didn't ask for, so they kind of just included this. I don't think I have a vehicle that these will necessarily fit under, but if I do, these will be pretty sweet because it'll give me some extra height to work with on top of the height that the QuickJacks are going to give me. Now from here, what we need to do is get the elbow fittings onto the QuickJack, get these fittings right here onto the pump itself, and then we're going to go ahead and fill up the reservoirs here with some air. I believe about 45 PSI is about right. And then the fluid, connect everything, and we should be ready to rock and roll for the bleeding process. so quick update on the progress so far. So over here on the QuickJack units, I got these L fittings attached and cinched down, and then I've ran my short cable underneath here, exactly how it's shown, and then I have it connected to my long hoses here via the quick disconnects. Then over here on the pump, I got this filled up with some premium ATF, roughly 2 quarts, 2 and about a 1/3 quart or whatever I'm at right now, but I believe it calls for about 2.5. And then I have these fittings cinched down on here as well. So at this point in time, what we need to do is pressurize the QuickJacks here. So in the down position, we're gonna go ahead, let the air out, and then fill up to about 45 PSI, and then lock that in, and then we can begin the bleeding process. Something nice. Yeah, okay. That's about, I don't know, is that about 8 inches? Probably. All right, so loosen the bleeder screw using a hex key when you stinks. All right, so quick update here. I've been bleeding the QuickJack setup for the past 30 minutes or so. I've been following the instructions. I kind of gone up and down, bled it, up and down, bled it, up and down, bled it. And then I went up halfway, opened up the bleeder screw, went up a little bit further, let any more air come out, closed it, dropped it down. It's kind of a process. I mean, you'll kind of get the hang of it, which is kind of nice that you're getting this hands-on with the unit, because if anything does go wrong or if you need to troubleshoot anything, you'll have learned everything that you need to learn. So I've gone through and bled everything as many times as I can bleed it. And what we're mainly looking for is evenness when it comes up. So bam, even. So yeah, it's a little bit slow coming down. It'll be slightly uneven, and that's completely normal because there's no weight on it. So this one's a little bit slower than this one, but again, totally normal. So after this is done, I'm gonna get these off the blocks here. I'm going to check the air pressure within the canisters there. I'm gonna check my fluid here, make sure everything's topped off and looks good. And we should be good to throw the Civic on it. All right, so here we go. We are going to raise the QuickJacks up just a few inches just to make sure the blocks make contact with the jacking points, make sure everything is good, and then we'll go all the way up. Okay, let's check it out. All right, we are solid there, no contact with the mudguard. We are solid back here, perfectly centered. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. This is so exciting. This side over here, perfectly centered. And then this side over here, perfectly centered. All right, let's do this. We're going higher. Dude, this is so sick. Quick check. We are even. This is so sick. How much space do I have back here? I think we'll be okay. All right, so we're at the first locking point right now, and this is already incredible. We're gonna lower this back down really quick and make sure that nothing was a fluke. Okay, it's going. No way, dude. No way. This is the sickest thing ever. Every car guy needs this. Holy crap. If this wasn't sponsored, dude, just me seeing, all I needed to do was see my car on this and see it working. I would literally throw my wallet so fast, I would bust a hole through this wall, all the cards would go flying out, and one card would go exactly into a chip reader to pay for this. That's how fast I'd throw my wallet. That is incredible. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
I never heard. I had to. Yeah. Let's pick your point. Pick a side. Yeah.
Yeah, we are literally inches away. Well, for once, I am speechless. I don't even know what to say. This is everything that I have wanted for years. Do you know how much time this would have saved me for so many different things? Not just videos, but like side projects and all this other stuff. The amount of space under here is one thing, and we're gonna cover that here shortly, but just the awe of seeing my car up at this height in my garage. That's the awe factor right there. My jaws dropped. I don't know what else to say. It just doesn't feel real that this is my garage with the Civic up this high, safely. I got it up on the second locking point here, and it's locked in, so it's not going anywhere. I guess let's get into the specifics, and let's bust out this light here. Let's see how much working room I have. Let's do some measurements, and let's talk a little bit more in depth on kind of what this means here in my garage as a car guy. All right, so let's get to the important info and why I'm making this video in the first place. So just to remind you, this is the QuickJack 5000TLX. Not the 5000TL. The 5000TL is what I believe 6 inches shorter than the TLX here. And I'm trying to wrap my head around what the TL model would be best for, other than something like a Miata or an S2000 or something that has like a continuous pinch weld. But on my Honda Civic, which is still a relatively small car, the TLX fits this perfectly. The Evo, it's gonna fit perfectly. The RSX, I know it's gonna fit perfectly because that's almost identical to the footprint of the Civic here. So when you're measuring the length to figure out which is the right model for you, you typically want to measure from your jacking point to your jacking point at its widest and at its shortest to figure out what is going to work best. So when I did this, I measured it from the outside of that jacking point all the way to the outside, and then from the inside to the inside. And my conclusion was that the TLX model was going to be damn near perfect, and it is. So going from almost the end of this area, this usable area, to this, we have about 67 inches, 66, 67 inches at its longest here. And this is literally perfect. But we could go as short as this to about this right here, which is about like 45-ish inches. So you have like 45 to like, what I say, 66. So you have quite a bit of wiggle room here in this base to make sure things fit properly. So hopefully you guys can see this, but I have my jacking point right here. I have the block directly centered, and it's pretty much to the end of the QuickJack TLX. And then going to the front here, this is about as perfect as it could possibly get. It's at the very end of the QuickJack TLX, but that block is perfectly centered, and I'm using all of that jacking point. So again, hopefully that kind of information helps. This is a Honda Civic here. The TLX model is literally perfect. Now, as far as height goes, I'm currently on the low profile pad, so I believe I could probably get an extra, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, whatever the difference is, on top of what I have here. But just to give you guys a quick measurement, so from there to there, about the bottom of the side skirt, I'm at 22 inches. Here, about 22 inches, the same. So if I were on the taller blocks, I'd get a little bit more height out of it, but this is so much better than what I was getting with jack stands. It's not even comparable. At the tallest sketchy point of my jack stand, I am at roughly 16 inches or so. So on top of that here, I'm working with about another, I don't know, another 5 inches, another 4.5 inches. So again, 5 inches, 4.5 inches, nothing to scoff at. Makes a big difference. I finally have a good reason to consistently use my Viper chair here. So if I'm working on wheels or brakes, I'm sitting here comfortably with a decent amount of height here to be able to work on, you know, calipers, suspension, anything like that that I need. And I'm literally just sitting down, rolling around. This is pretty ideal. All right, so this is gonna be the reason why I buy a creeper here soon. So checking this out so far, this is already a massive difference. Way more room than what I'm used to. So sliding underneath here, grabbing my light. Good God. No way. No way. Hopefully this GoPro here is wide enough to see everything. This is amazing. Yeah, I definitely need a creeper. Honestly, you know what this has done? This is probably just gonna make me crazier because now I'm gonna be concerned what the underside of my car looks like in case anybody comes over. So now I know what I'm gonna be doing. But crawling out from underneath here, shimmy out, way easier than shimmying out on jack stands. All right, so before we bring the Civic down, I want to answer a few questions that I had from my past self before getting the hands-on experience. So one of my questions was, can you raise the QuickJack anywhere and then call it good, or do you have to be on the locking little bridges there? And I think the short answer is yes, you can be anywhere you would like, but you're purely relying on the hydraulic pressure at that point. So your best bet from a safety standpoint would be to get onto the locks there. But I think if you're doing like a quick job and just getting a wheel or tire off and you don't want to go all the way, possibly, but I think as far as safety goes, you want to be on that second notch there, at least for small little quick job. Now, the next question I was curious about was, can you infinitely store a car in QuickJacks, or can you store it for a long period of time? And I believe the answer is yes, because once you get to the locking position, the weight should technically be on that. So I believe you're good to go, and you can bring the fluid back through and then simply unhook everything and then call it good in a position here. So if the car was over here or over here, I believe I could just store it like this, which is also super cool. Now, I think the only other question I had was, how is everything supposed to be stored? And I think it's pretty simple. I think we bring the car down, all the fluid goes back into the reservoir there, you unclip the quick disconnects, you hang up the QuickJacks on a wall with those wall mounts, and then you find a home for that, and you find a home for the cables, and that's it. So yeah, I don't think it's very complicated. And as far as rebleeding the system or doing anything like that, I think only if the QuickJacks are acting funny do you have to rebleed the system. And changing the fluid, I don't know how long the fluid's supposed to last in there, but the whole process didn't take me very long. So I figured I could probably redo everything now with the experience in probably, I don't know, under 30 minutes or so. All right, so to get her down, we're gonna go back up to its max position and then make sure that these are facing the right way, because that's just going to slide over the top there. Make sure these are flipped in the right direction. Sweet. And then that should just go down. Here we go. Just like that. Dude, that's so sweet. I genuinely feel like a pro. Make sure it's not going to land on any of the lines here, so we're good on this side. I could stop it there. Look, no, we're good there. Dude, freaking legit, man. All right, guys, that is going to be a wrap for today's video, tonight's video, whatever the heck it is. But I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to QuickJack and Bendpak for setting these things out. They're going to be incredibly helpful here on the channel, and you're going to see them in plenty of future content. Now, as far as being a car guy, do you need these? Probably, yeah. They're pretty incredible, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing them in action and seeing your own car in your own working space with it that high in the air, it's kind of mind-blowing. You really do have to see it. So when I say I was speechless, I genuinely meant that. I was really speechless. This is really, really crazy. So I can't wait to get the other cars on here. I can't wait to work on future projects. This is just going to be absolutely awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys got your questions answered. And as always, if you guys enjoy the content, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's ALLDAYANTHONY. Peace.